It's Dave up in the house. You know what it is. It's Dave up in the house. Yo, 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 yo. All right. Now, all right. I was just like singing a jingle in my head. Anyway, hello. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another installment of BrickWall Reviews. I'm Dave, and right now it is our BrickWall Horror Month, and I'm here to talk to y'all about the movie Exorcist Believer. Before I get into it, before I get into it, remind you guys, hit that like button down below, subscribe to the channel, you already subscribe. Follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch, where we do the BrickWall podcast every Thursday night, as well as some gaming. And yeah, over on Instagram, we're doing mini reviews too, so make sure you guys tune in for that. So, The Exorcist Believer. All right, so first of all, let me tell y'all, right? I usually don't watch these types of movies, right? I usually don't watch the things about the Exorcist, the demonic possessions, and all that stuff. I mean, Evil Dead aside, I usually don't really watch these movies a lot. So, I'm not really like super familiar with the Exorcist lore. But just a little background information on this movie. This was supposed to be a the first part of a trilogy. I don't know what I know the other part was named Deceiver, but I don't think they ever had a name for the third part that was supposed to be that never was. The reason why it ended up not being a trilogy is because this first movie was not very successful. We'll get into that a little bit later. But for right now, what can I tell you about this film, The Exorcist Believer? So this movie follows a father named Victor, whose daughter Angela and her best friend Catherine start showing signs of demonic possession, which unleashes a chain of events that forces not just Victor, but Catherine's family as well into to confront. I'm reading this like synopsis a little differently. To confront the nadir of evil. Terrified and desperate, they seek out Chris McNeil, the only person alive who's witnessed anything like it before. So that last part is not even really relevant. Really, what they do is that they so the movie kind of starts off. And hold on, before I get into that, I want to tell you who's in the movie. My bad. You got Linda Blair and Ellen Burstyn, I guess, reprising their roles from the original Exorcist. Again, I've not seen the original Exorcist, and I'll get to why that's not that important anyway. You got Lydia Jewett playing Angela Fielding, Jennifer Nettles, Olivia O'Neill, Ann Dowd, and Leslie Odom Jr., as well as Norbert Leo Butts. Leslie Odom Jr. I know I said that name wrong. But so right off the bat, so like I said, this movie it starts with Victor. He had a wife. She died in labor due to like an incident that happened in Haiti. She died like when this building collapsed. So fortunately the baby was born, and through that he raises his daughter and everything like that. So like one day his daughter wants to go hang out with a friend after school, and they just go missing, right? They go missing. They pop back up 3 days later. They only think it's been a few hours. And from there, pretty much all the demonic shit. My chair is very uncomfortable right now. So they go through all the demonic shenanigans and all that good stuff. Like they start to notice, they start acting different. You know what I'm saying? Things just don't seem the same. And Victor, he's not really a believer in like all the exorcism type of stuff and all the demonic possession type of stuff. And so through that, okay, cool. I had to bat my chair up some. So through that, he kind of just is like, well, I don't really even know what's going on, what's even happening. And meanwhile, Catherine, her family, they're like super religious. They go to Catholic church and all that stuff. And so they're like, okay, well, as soon as Catherine returns, they're kind of just like, okay, we're just so thankful. They take her to church and everything like that. So when they take Catherine to church, they notice that, and I remember this part because it was kind of funny to me. They take Catherine to church, she starts acting a little wild and crazy and all that stuff. She does things when she walks down the aisle, goes, the body, the blood, the body, the blood, the body, the blood, the body, the blood. And it's just so weird. And then meanwhile, Angela, she's just like, she's just screaming and freaking out a lot and like just popping up out of the blue all the time. It's just like she like rips off her fingernails, stuff like that. So it's really weird stuff. So they end up having to call the priest to try to do the exorcism, but in that a whole but like it's weird. I'm trying not to spoil anything directly because like there's like different plots of like, oh, okay, well the priest can't do the exorcism because the church wouldn't allow it, and then you have like there's I think Victor's neighbor, he has like ties to like certain like religious beliefs in terms of like, I'm not gonna say it's voodoo, but it's more like tribal ritualism and stuff like that that still has to do with God and the church and stuff like that, but it's just like with the exorcism part of it. Because I don't want to spoil certain things. That's why I'm trying to dance around this movie. Because there are things in this movie that I probably shouldn't mention because it would be more entertaining to watch. So let me skip away from that. Let me just move into this direction here. So this movie, I liked it. Okay, I know it kind of got trashed a little bit. I mentioned that earlier, but I liked this movie. I thought it was really good. A lot of the horror for this movie came in the fact that I, as a parent, watched this movie where a fellow parent was going through this, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I just couldn't imagine having to deal with this as a parent. And that's where the scary part is, and that's where the demons draw a lot of their horror from, like in terms of inflicting their horror and their manipulation onto the parents, is like especially when they're doing like the big exorcism towards the end of the movie. It's really interesting how the demons kind of play around like that. I always think it's funny because they always talk like the demons always talk cold cash shit. They should be like, it'd be wild. Like y'all gotta hear some of the stuff they say. It's not like too bad. Like the Evil Dead still has top tier demons talking shit. They still top tier at that. But this one was close. This one was pretty close. When they were doing the exorcism, I just want to say this about the, and I'm not going to spoil it. I do want to, because I was kind of building to this anyway. So the exorcism kind of comes down to the parents being told that they have to make a choice. If they can choose to save one daughter, but they choose to save that one, the other one will die. You know what I'm saying? So it comes down, I thought was really it was really interesting. They kept saying, oh, they're clearly trying to trick us. They're playing their demonic tricks, blah, 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 blah. And how that whole thing is resolved and comes to a conclusion is wild and crazy. But other than that, I mean, it was a pretty good movie. I didn't dislike it. It was a little long, but I didn't mind it because things kind of just got to the point and kind of went on. It kind of went from point A to point B to point C pretty quickly without too much filler in between. I think one of the things that I didn't connect with was them bringing back the Legacy X, because this was kind of done by the same people who did the Halloween movie, the Halloween reboot and all that. So, I don't know. Like I said, I hadn't seen the original Halloween movies. Like, I have no connection to that. So when they brought back in this original character from the Halloween movie, or not the Halloween, from the Exorcist movie, I'm looking like, okay, who the heck is this person? Why should I care? Why does this matter to me? Like, what's her storyline? I don't like it. It just didn't connect to me. It felt bloated. It felt unimportant. They could have left that out, because I think where the movie really shines is in the connections that the dad had with his daughter, and this how much he was trying to figure out what was going on with her and stuff like that. Like, they really could have replaced that lady with like any other old character who has seen like a demonic possession before, and it would have been just perfectly fine. And so they didn't really need to add her in there. But besides that, I don't really have anything I didn't like about this film. It just reminded me how much I don't rock with demon possessions. Like, and one thing I noticed too, and I'm gonna bring this up in another review I got coming up: birds. Okay, just remember I said that, birds, because something about birds and these damn possession movies, it's like, yo, y'all gotta chill out. Because, like, all right, I'm gonna just say it here while I'm here anyway. It's like birds always smashing their heads into some shit. Like, go fly somewhere else, little bird. Damn. Like, why are you being used for the devil's work right now? But I don't know, that's just me. But the movie was dope. I thought it was interesting. It didn't put too much fear in my heart, which I'll get into that part of the rating later. But and as a movie, I guess it was structured well. Like I said, I don't really watch too many of these like haunting being possessed or something's hiding in your closet movies. So my bar for these is like I don't really have a good gauge for these, I don't think, but it's always fun to watch them though. And I really did have a good time watching this movie. However, I must be in the minority because this movie has 22% on Rotten Tomatoes and 4.8 out of 10 on IMDb. Me, I'm a little bit more gracious towards this movie. As a movie, I give it about a 4. I give it 4 stars. I liked it. I liked it as a movie. I give it maybe even a 4 point. I give it like a 4. I give it 4. I give it a 4. It was a good movie. I liked it. I enjoyed it. You know, I thought it was a pretty good movie. I would have liked to have seen them continue what they were going to do, but I understand it didn't do well critically and commercially. So, you know, you got to revamp everything you want to do. I understand that. I would have liked to see where it goes, though, honestly. It seemed like they were planting seeds in this one. As a horror movie, I give it a 4 too. Because again, like I said, as a parent, that's where it really got me. I'm sitting there like, oh my gosh, like, oh, what when my babies go missing? Like, what am I gonna do? Like, oh my gosh, oh, did they come back and they just this, like, what am I gonna do with this? You know, like, what are we gonna do? Like, oh my gosh, like I was like, oh, like that's where it got me. And I know it's like, oh man, shut up. What about the scares? What about the jumps? Like, they really like, no, not really. Like, like nothing really like scared me beside that. It was some creepy stuff in there. Don't get me wrong, like. But I don't know. It's a horror movie. I think sometimes the best type of horror movies are the ones that connect with you on a psychological level. Like sometimes it's not always about the things that can jump out and scare you. Sometimes it's about the things that can say, like, damn, if I was in this scenario, that would scare the shit out of me. And like you get to live through the character in the movie. And I think sometimes that's where some of the best horror comes from. So in that aspect, yes, I do give this like a 4.2. I think I said a 4.2. Yeah, I give it a 4.2 on the horror scale. So it was a pretty decent movie to watch and be scared by. And that says a lot. And it also just again, it reminded me why I don't really fuck with these types of movies. I was like, damn, this little I think it's because like the whole church aspect of it, right? Like I don't know. It's just I don't know. It's just weird for me sometimes. I don't know. The Exorcism movies are just weird for me. I don't really do it. But anyway, that's all I gotta say. So, like I said, 4 stars on as a movie, 4.2 as a horror movie. But what are your thoughts? Did you see Exorcist Believer? Did you think it was as good as I thought it was? Did you think it was trash? Is there something I need to learn? Do you have a Exorcism movie you like? Yo, Dave, but you got to see this Exorcism movie because this is the one that'll really scare the pants off you, brother. Let me know in the comments down below. And in the meantime, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. You already subscribe. Follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. And yeah, keep tuning in. BrickWall Horror Month is still ongoing. I got many reviews left, and I'm going to knock them all out of the park. All right, let's go. So until next time, be spooky, stay scary. Peace.